One of the greatest things about educating hunters about alternatives to lead is that it's one of these conservation problems that we can solve. It really is as simple as loading a different round in your gun the next time you head out. I'm Aaron Kindle, and I'm the Director of Sporting Advocacy for the National Wildlife Federation. This is one of many events we do to help educate the public about the impacts of using lead ammunition on wildlife and on the landscape.
Anytime an animal is shot with lead-based ammunition, whose remains are going to be left on the field, there is a potential for exposure. And we always say that, there's the potential for exposure. It doesn't mean that any animal that eats that carcass is going to be exposed, because it's about probability. It matters on where the fragments are, how many fragments are, how long the animal feeds. There's a lot of details in there.
Because raptors have very acidic digestive systems, they are susceptible to getting a lot more of that lead in their system, and then therefore succumbing to degenerative issues, neurological issues, or even sometimes death.
This really says it all. And I flipped this to a positive rather than a negative image, so you could see the gut pile x-ray here, and we would x-ray these and put a grid on them, and we would begin counting them. And you can see also that the fragments don't just stay around that target area. The fragments in our study, we found they traveled as far as 15 inches from that path of the bullet.
Unfortunately, I've dealt with multiple bald eagles that have died from lead poisoning over the years. My name is Emily Davenport, and I'm the founder and executive director for the Rocky Mountain Wildlife Alliance. So I kind of started taking care of eagles, hawks, and falcons that were lead poisoned. It's been kind of a full circle for me where I didn't want to just be reactive to the conservation, I wanted to be more proactive. And so that really sent me on a journey to become a hunter. I didn't want to just be a consumptive user of nature, I wanted to be a part of nature and be a part of the ecosystem.
We'll shoot a couple rounds on paper, look for points of impact, group sizes, and then put a round into the left barrel probably with the lead bullet and the right barrel with the copper bullet. And then we can call range cold, and we'll head down and take a look at it all.
Go ahead. Range hot?
Range is hot. It's hard to change behavior. There's a heritage there, that hunting heritage. And when you've done something the same way for generations, there's sometimes the thought that we don't need to change, that we've always done things this way. If we are going to impact change on a big scale, it can't come from legislation, it can't come from bans, it has to come from those that are using the tool.
We think that as hunters learn this stuff and they hear it from credible folks who hunt themselves and know the ballistics and know the impacts scientifically, that most hunters will go, I didn't know about that.
Safe and clear.
It's interesting with young people, my kid included, as he's come up as a hunter, and we talked about, why I chose to use non-lead ammunition. He kind of looked at me and was like, well, no kidding, of course. Why would you use anything with lead when you don't have to?
This is what I was talking about earlier. When you have a bullet that completely comes apart like that on a perfect broadside shot, it may be fine. But if you don't have a perfect broadside and you need to drive through more tissue and get through a bunch of tissue to actually get into the vitals, then the requirement to have something hold together enough to actually access and create damage in those vital tissues is really important.
Hunters and animal advocates have more in common than they actually realize, and no one person or one organization is going to be able to take on the world's problems alone. We have to work together towards kind of the greater benefits for conservation purposes, for individual animals, and for human health as well.